Darth Maul, that's not how you use lipstick.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Okay, so we've covered everything in this game pretty much so far. Now, where we left off was going into the guild. Okay, so this is your guild screen. Okay, we're going to cover everything in here in one or two videos. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. But we're going to go ahead and start off with the manage button. So you can click your manage team. You have all your members in your team. This is where you're going to see your title. You know, what they expect. You can put a little description there. How many members you have. You could leave. You could sort through all your different people and like who's been donating tickets and who hasn't, daily events and stuff like that. So that's where you can go do that in the manage button there. Okay. So once you join a guild, I'm telling you, it's very important to join a guild because it's going to help you progress, and you're also going to get help from your alliance members. And they're also going to give you a lot of good tips if you're looking for tips. In the background there, you see that screen. It's going to tell you the top teams basically in the game. But, you know, you can tap it. Nope. You used to be able to tap it. That's just a tip. Hold on, wait until that goes by. Alright, take down. Yeah, there you go. You can tap it. So what this is going to do is going to take you to the leaderboard. This is like a little bit of details between raids, info, and leaderboard. Because I tapped on a raid little menu there, it took me to the raids. But it'll take you. You can go tank take down, the pit, and Sith. Well, I'm just gonna say the Sith because I hate that word. And what that is that's those are the three different raids in this game. So if you tap raids, we'll go ahead and click there so you guys can see this. Okay, so we have the pit. It was the first thing that was released a while back, and then they ended up coming out with tank takedown, which is the third menu there, where you fighting. The pit is where you fight the Rancor, which was in Star Wars, the original series, the first episode 4, 5, and 6. That's the original series, and that was where Luke had gotten down there with that big old beast, and he fights him, or escapes him, however you want to put that. Then the take down all the way to the right is where you're fighting General Grievous, and in that one you get Kenobi shards. So it's very important I'm going to go ahead and enter in that one. There's only two sections here. Let's go back to the Rancor so you guys can see the difference. Right now we're in the middle of it, but there's different raid settings that you can go into. Oh, you get Han Solo rewards for doing the pit. And that's important because he's a good character to have. Units, these are all my units. Now, there's different levels of difficulty. And I'll show you that over here in the tank takedown. So, there's normal and there's heroic. And normal, of course, is a little easier. You have to have 6-star or higher characters. It'll refresh daily, so you get 5 daily attempts added. So you pick your best 5 squads to fight him, and then you just keep. You have 5 squads you get to use, and then every day it will reset, and you get to choose those same squads or different squads, however many you want, until you finally beat this event. Now what's going to happen is you're going to fight droids, and then you're going to eventually fight Grievous. I'm not going to show you the battles because we sim. Since our team is so strong, you get a chance once your guild gets pretty high leveled, you'll get the opportunity to sim the Rancor and also the tank takedown. So we can sim both of those. So we don't even battle them anymore because it's just a waste of our time. Whenever we could just sim it and get all the rewards. It takes a long time, and it took a lot. it was tough to get there, but we finally got there. So we're gonna use it. So I would show you guys those, but I'm sure you can look them up in another video from somebody else. I'm sure someone's videoed it. So the little sim enable, that's what that means whenever it's ready. So how do you get to battle these? Because they're not always active. Like these ones over here aren't active. How do we get to battle them? Well, if you select it, it'll tell you. Let's see, where does it tell you? It does tell you how many tickets you need in order to battle it. Let's see, right here. Launch cost. You need 90,000 tickets for the heroic, and then the normal, you need 80,000 tickets. So it's almost worth it to go straight to the heroic, right? You would think, because you get better rewards, like General Kenobi shards. But the thing with heroic, it's a little different. In this one, you can use all of your tunes that you want. You have an unlimited roster, basically. The problem is it's only 2 days long. That's all it lasts, and your characters do not refresh. So once they die, they're done for the event, for the raid. So basically, you use your teams that you can, and then that's it. After you're done, you've used all your teams. So the thing is that you want all your players in your game, or all your team members, to be participating. Because then that's whenever you guys might have a chance of beating it, you know? If it's only like so many people signed up and then they just like only a few participated, you're not going to beat it. After 2 days is over, you either beat it or you didn't. And if you didn't beat it, you don't get the rewards. So there's a downside to it. But like normal, like I said, normal, you have 5 daily attempts, and then it refreshes every day until you finally beat it. So you get your characters back after every day. And that's going to be the same for your Rancor over here, except for you have more levels than just normal and heroic. You have actually different tiers, because that's more of a beginner raid. And then your intermediate would be the tank takedown. And then your hard would be the Sith. Okay, but yeah, for the beginner, this will give you a bunch of different levels, and but it's the same rule as applies when you go to heroic. You have 2 days to completely beat it, and your characters do not refresh, and then you can use as many characters as you want. The tiers prior, same rules apply. You can do 5 daily attacks, and then every day it refreshes until you beat the pit. Does everybody understand that? Raids are a little confusing, but to get a grasp on. But once you got it, you got it. It's really easy. Okay, the last raid we're going to talk about is the Sith. This is hard. Now, when this was introduced, it was like we could barely beat level 2, tier 2. It was like, you got to be kidding me. Then people started figuring out what characters to use, or what tunes, and Resistance happened to be one of the better teams to use in this game against the Sith here. So the possible rewards here, and you work your way up, and then at the very end, you start getting Darth Treya, which is a really good character. So you also unlock a new portrait and a new title once you beat the heroic, and it's a 2-day time limit. The exact same thing. Characters don't refresh. Well, we when we started, we were like when I started, I was like, it's tier 2. I was like, holy cow, this is ridiculously hard. Then people started figuring out the characters to use are better ones, or like the is like the what did I just say? I'm already having a brain fart, guys. The Resistance team is a good team to have. So anyway, we worked our way up, and now we're able to beat heroic. It took a while, but now that's what we're doing now. We're just beating heroic. So we've gotten all 3 of the raids, and we're just dominating now. It's pretty awesome. So it's important to work with your teammates, make sure you get a good guild. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, there's a guy that has supporting his team on there, and you can go join his team if you'd like. I'm sorry, our team is all full, so can't join us. So, like we were talking about launching, right? You need these little tickets up here in the corner. These are the Sith tickets. If you go over to the tank takedown, you have the tank takedown tickets, and then you also have the pit tickets. Okay? Now, how do you get tickets? Simple. You do your guild activities, and you get rewards for it. Okay? So, we're going to go ahead and click the quest button here. We're going to go to the second button on the left here. This is your guild activities. Okay. So, what is up is you got to do 600 of these energy spent with Cantina energy or regular energy. Okay? Cantina or regular energy. Not the other energy. Doesn't count towards it. Okay? And what's going to happen here is you're going to see that I have 252 energy that I've used of 600. At the top of the guild activities, it'll tell you it's going to refresh in 21 hours and 17 minutes. So, I have that much time to get the 600 tickets. It resets daily. So, I just got to spend energy, which you're going to do anyway. So, you spend energy to get these tickets. And then max is 600. Then you also have these separate quests here. They give you bonus. I don't really know exactly what the purpose of the side quest here is. Underneath of it, it says Dark Side Tier 107. So once you hit, this specific one is spend energy in Dark Side battles, and once you've reached 250, you go to Tier 2, and then it will be like spend more, and then Tier 3, spend more energy Dark Side, and basically that's all that is. And then the following day, it's gonna change. You see at the very bottom, it says next activity Squad Arena PvP. So basically, use your 5 player versus player, your squad arena. Use your 5 attempts, and then you've done your part. And then it will, you can use it for the next day also. And yeah, so that's that. That's the guild activities. I told you we'd get to that. Now, based off of how you place throughout the day, so you see you're earning tickets for your guild, right? Those tickets are going to your raids, okay? But that's not the only thing this is doing over here. Your placement also matters. So how much you're contributing to your guild is going to give you a placement, and that placement is going to earn you tokens for the guild store. Okay? Guild store tokens over here in the left. That little guy that's staring at that box. Tap that, you're going to earn these based off of how much you participate and do in your guild every day. You're going to earn these guild store tokens. These guild store tokens can exchange for that modulator there. You got gears, different gears here. And also shards for characters and ships. And most of the time you'll see some of the same characters, but sometimes they change up a little bit. But most of the time you'll see the same characters in here. Yeah. And that is the guild store. Okay. Moving right along, aren't we? Now, sometimes people in your guild are asking for a part that they need, a gear, right? Now you can tap in your character screen and tap a gear, and you can say request. And what's going to happen is it's going to go to your chat in here. It's going to go in there. It'll show up in your chat, so you can help donate right through there. Or you can go to the exchange button. Hit that exchange tab. Now it's going to be what everybody's been requesting, and you can donate. Now it will tell you how much you own, so you know, like, oh, I only have one of that. I'm not going to give my one away. I'm trying to build that up too. Everybody's trying to ask for the same thing, which is not a smart thing. So there's one thing that you should be considerate about. Just think about this. If you need it, because it's something that is a lot of toons or your characters need, that same gear, you can guarantee everybody else in your guild is also looking for the same thing. So here's a tip for you to help you get where you're going faster. So you don't have to spend your energy on some gear that's easy to get. Or so you can spend your energy on No, I'm all backwards here. I'm just gonna show you. So let's just go down here. We're gonna click his. Okay, so here's a gear. Well, say I run out, but this is not a very common gear to need. We'll just say it doesn't, like the characters on the bottom. There's not very many of them. You can go ahead and request, and then it will last for a day for people to give it to you, and then you can focus on the harder gear to get, like Emperor Palpatine over here. This gear, that's a harder one to get. So I can actually use my energy towards that gear instead of requesting help to get that gear. It's a tip that I use. So if I'm looking for, like, I'm trying to upgrade one of my lower characters and I'm like, oh, I ran out of this and it's easy to get, but you know what? I'll go ahead and request it so I can use my energy towards a harder gear. Okay, many of you are probably wondering that have been watching the videos, all the videos, what that little yellow there is. So sometimes they'll give you bonus drops. Well, in this case, it's not really. It's a new ship that they introduced. It's the Hyena Bomber. So they're doing a little special event. So whichever one of these in Cantina, all the Cantina will give you a bonus drops for that ship right now. That's what that little exclamation point and why it's highlighted. But sometimes they'll do little things where they'll do ×2 for different things. So you'll see a little ×2, so you get double drops. Is what that's called. Okay, so we're going back over to the guild area. We've pretty much almost covered everything. Here's a guild search. You can click it. You can find what guilds need members, and you can search for a specific member. You can refresh it. You can click recommended, I guess the game feels is good suit for you. One thing to be cautious of: most guilds are going to want you to be active. Of course, just while you're playing the game, right? Is to be active. More people that become unactive, it becomes unattractive, basically. So you don't end up wanting to play anymore, or undesirable. So be active. Guilds are gonna want you to play at least. A lot of them are pretty cool out there. What they'll say is they'll require you to be active and do your daily quests, basically, and then call. That's what they require, and then they want you to participate in their guild events. So that's like the most common, but then you have some guilds that might be a little bit more strict and want you to play multiple times a day, schedule meetup times, basically, or join other apps like Line or Discord, or a forum. But there's a lot of cool guilds out there too. If you really want to go die hard into that, then it's gonna be hard to get into those guilds. Any questions, you can leave them in the comments. We're moving on to the Territory War. Alright, Territory War. It's the first one there. You see it? We're in a preview phase. You can active members, it's up to 50. You need a minimum, I think, of 25. Could be 22 to 25, I can't remember. I think it's 22 is the minimum in order to participate. So we'll get into the other two right there in a minute. Those are territory battles, but we're going to talk about territory war. Territory battles are they're against AI. Territory war is against other guilds. So the game decided, hey, let's get your guild and play against another guild. We haven't done that yet, so yeah, now you get to have your whole guild participate against another guild. But not everybody always joins, and you're lucky if you get above 30 members to join. So before we move on, you can also click the leaderboard section to find out the leaderboards for this, and you can also, once you've done with the war and you get rewards, or when you're done with the territory battle, you get rewards. That's over here, Guild Events Store. So you can get Guild Events tokens, right? Everything's tokens. Now, you're looking at the two different types of tokens at the top there besides the crystals. The first one is the Guild Events Tokens 1, Mark 1, and you have Mark 2. Okay? So Mark 2, you can get only really one way as of right now, and that's through a territory battle, but only the Geonosis, Separatist Might, that territory battle is the only way right now that I'm aware of that you can get the Mark II tokens there. Like I said, I've been trying to get this negotiator because I feel like, hey, it's the only way you can get him right now. He's probably really, really good ship to have. So that's what I'm going after. But then if you scroll down, there's more character shards, more gear. And there is Darth Moloch. Remember at the beginning of this, they took him out of the store? Well, now he's back. How come I can't get him? He's locked. Well, there's a very few that are locked. You have to complete a certain event first. Once you beat the event, then he unlocks for shards. Down here below, you have your regular Mark 1 tokens that you can use for gear, shards, for your character or ships. Any questions on the store? So many different ways to get your, what you earn, which is really awesome in this game, is that they really give you back. It's not just for fun. I mean, it's for fun, but it's rewarding fun, you know what I'm saying? Okay, we're going to go ahead and Territory War. So I'm not going to show you everything about these because it's very particular towards guilds, and I don't want to upset my guild by giving you guys all of our little secrets away. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're going to enter that. Starts out with a preview phase, so everybody can join in on the game. Here's some more about the screens here. You can read them if you want. You can pause the screen and you can read it. I'm not going to read it for you. There's the details. Okay. You can earn banners. Rewards. This is what you're going to get if you... Your active guild power. So when you enter this, it's going to give you a reward based off your guild power. It doesn't give you rewards based off of, like, how awesome you did. I mean, that partly, but see, this is first place. If you get first place, there's only first and second place, by the way. If you get first place, let's say our guild power is 88 million, right? So let's go right here. It's this one right here. That's the reward we're going to get. 2 Zetas. This little guy here. The box there. Which is like, what is inside that box? I want to know. Just tap it. It'll tell you what gear's in there. Okay? Just remember, if you're in questions, just tap things. And then second place, let's go to 88 million. And whoops, I passed it. It's this one. So 1 Zeta and one of those gold boxes and some tokens, the guild store tokens. See, so you get rewarded whether you get first place or second place. You definitely want to win, but second place is also very nice. And then you have your stats tab. We're not going to click that. We're going to go ahead and back to the summary page. You're going to go ahead and click enter. Now, this is what a territory war looks like. You either have the right side, which is the bad guys. You have your side, it's the blue side. And you're going to have all these little squares. So what's going to happen is you're going to set up your squads. I'm only going to show you one of these. Well, I'll show you a couple of them, but I'm not going to show you the front lines because very specific stuff. The leaders, the officers in your guild can put a little gold bar there and tell you what they want you to set up in that territory war, or that territory. Okay, so, for instance, this one, it changes as you play the game. It changes every territory war, sorry. Every territory war, your guild can change the setup however they want. There's different strategies behind this. You can be like, oh, yeah, I want all really, really, really strong people up front in the first 2 territories. And then I want it to decrease as it goes back. And then... Oh, so this is the front line, by the way, these front 2. And then it goes from right to left, basically, on our side. On their side, left to right. But when they're looking at their screen, the bad guys, it looks exactly the same as ours. So... Anyway, from right to left on the blue side, our front 2 squads and the second 2 squads, and then there's 3 on the third row, and then in the fourth row, the fourth column or row there, it's there's 3 there also. Now, every one of these is characters. You can put teams in them, except for 2 of these territory spots. They're ships, and they're back here. Okay? This is how it's been for a while now. They can change it up if they decide to. The game can change it up if they decide to, but it's been for a while. It's been pretty much the same. But you got these 2 territories that are ships, and you can set up your team of ships and put them in there. Now, we're going to go back to the front one. Guild leader decides, hey, I want Ravens, but Bastilles and Padmes and CLS, Commander Luke Skywalker. You got to learn the acronyms in this game. If you don't have the team, then don't put anybody there. You just follow the instructions. That's one of the instructions, so you can do team-based, so you have all the same type of teams in one territory, or the leader may mix it up. He may say, hey, I want bounty hunters and Jedi in this one territory, so it could be a little bit of a mix, or however they want to do it. They can, like back here, this is what I was going to show you. I was going to show you a couple of them. Back here it says 75K, which means he wants teams 75,000 or higher back here in this territory. So you can do that up front too. You can change it to be, I want 100,000 K or more in the front territories, or just one side. It's up to you how you set it up, or how your leaders and officers set it up. So anyway, so what happens? So look at this little menu here for a minute. Every little territory has a specific little thing. Like this one says trenches fortification, just to give it a little bit of character. The requirements, everything has a requirement here. This is 600 power minimum. All the territories here are the same, except for the ships is a little bit higher. But it says the set defense. You can get, once you set up a defense squad, you get 30 banners towards your team points. If the bad guys get an offensive win here, or I'm sorry, if we get an offensive win, if you get an offensive win on the other side, you can get 6 to 20 banners. So basically, if they beat one of our teams, they can get 6 to 20 banners. And then if you completely take over the territory, you'll get a certain amount of banners, predetermined banners, but it doesn't tell us right now. So, how many teams can you put in one territory? It's varied over, since this has been out, since Territory Wars have been out. But lately it's been about, I think 20 or 30, I think it's been 20 teams that can go in each one of these squares, pretty much. So you and your whole guild are going to have to put teams down. Like I said, if you don't have that team, then just don't put it. Go put where you can, your teams. But remember, so you're going to have your whole inventory of team, right? Your team, or your whole inventory of characters. Whatever you use for your territory defense over here, you can't use it when we go to attack on the other side. So if I put my Night Sister team down on my defense, I can't use my Night Sisters on the attack, on the red side over here. Okay? And you also, right now, you can't tap on the red side. This is just preview phase. Like I said, this is just to basically join the territory war. After that is done, you're going to have 24 hours to set up your defenses. Once a territory is taken over or destroyed, it's just destroyed. It's not taken over. Once a territory is destroyed, it'll turn gray, and you can move on to the next territory right behind it. You cannot skip territories. You can't just say, oh, I don't want to attack this front 2 territories. I want to attack the back territory. You can't do that. you can only attack in a line. So from right to left on our side, they can attack. For us, we're going to attack left to right on their side. We're going to try to work our way to the back, to the end of the battlefield. Okay, and it's shaped like a battlefield. If you look at it, it's a hollow table. So we're trying to progressively go through their whole side over there. Make our way to their light. So in a straight line, you can go to the first 2 territories. Say you only did one on the bottom right, and then, the bottom territory first. You can go to their next territory on the bottom, or you can go back to that first top one. It's up to you or your leader. Now, so you have your first is preview, right? Next is setup phase. And then the next after that is the attack phase, which is another 24 hours to attack the other side. Now, when you go attack, your guild leader or officers can write, just like on here, the little gold bar. But on their side, they can say attack here, and then they can make a little notes of don't attack over here, with a little circle and a line through it. They can order your team to do certain things. You can disobey if you want, but it will look bad on you, and they will know. Okay? Yep. That's Territory Warrior, everybody. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. Yeah, it's a lot. You're not going to see your the guild you're playing against until after lock-in, because here's the reason: is not until setup phase, because not everybody might get their members to join their teams. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna base its matchmaking on how many people were. They want to try to match it best as possible. And then, so once they do that, then they'll show up the team that you're playing against at the top right. Okay? And that about sums that up. That's Territory War. If you guys got any questions, please let me know. And that's about it. And then we'll get to another video later on about the Territory Battle. I will show you one of them. The other one's similar. You see the Imperial Retaliation, that's Hoth. We don't really do that one much anymore because we can do Genosis. We've realized that we can get enough stars on that it's worthwhile to get the points. But that's about it for the guild area. We've covered almost all of it except for territory battles, which I will do in a short final part. That'll be part 10, the final part. Territory battles. Wow, that sounds nice, doesn't it? So this is part 9. I hope you all enjoyed. Hey, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.